Thank you so much for following me on the social media platforms and on my website. I definitely have a lot of great value that I love sharing with people getting into insurance adjusting, because why is that? We are the same tribe. We're entrepreneurs. We're people that want to do better for ourselves and our families, want to make more money and also have more time. And insurance adjusting is one of the great fields to do that. You don't have to go back and get an advanced degree to get into insurance adjusting or spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on training. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is be hardworking and willing to better yourself and to take good instruction from me. I'm an expert, or at least I like to think so, right? But one of the things is I'm really passionate about helping people move ahead in their lives and move further along in their careers, specifically in insurance adjusting. I remember I had a good friend a while back while I was in college. She worked for 4 months. He came back and told me, like, hey, I got into this field of insurance adjusting. I made $55,000. He said, what's really cool, my last month, I made $30,000. So I'm like, man, that is awesome, you know. And since then, insurance adjusting has been such a growing field, and, you know, understanding, you know, our field and our craft and how we fit into working with independent carriers and also insurance carriers. Adjusting firms is like really important. You know, you want to be the best that you can be at what you're doing to make yourself more marketable. You know, I've helped, you know, hundreds upon hundreds of people get into the field of insurance adjusting. I've actually held several people's hands closely, getting them jobs personally with my contacts, and, you know, helping them, you know, get their first foot in the door. I remember a gentleman that I helped out. He was working pest control. I would assume he's making around $30,000 a year, and now he makes well over, you know, or makes over $30,000 a month, you know, with the last assignment I helped him get. There's many stories like that, people that I've, you know, managed, talked to on the phone, they recognize my voice, or they see me in person, like, hey, I saw your videos on YouTube, man, thanks a lot, and they tell me their story, or they send me emails, comments, I mean, you name it. I've gotten all types of, you know, great feedback from people, and it's people just like you that are starting, or maybe already have your license or worked your first deployment, but you realize there's more that you need to learn, to master, to get to move to the next level, you know, and that's what we all want to do. We want to improve on our craft. And this information is valuable, so thank you so much for choosing the course. And just imagine a friend that I talked about earlier that, you know, told me while I was in college, like, hey, I made, you know, $55,000, you know, in 4 months. My last month, once I figured it out, I made $30,000. So what if that person up front knew the information you knew month 4? He probably would have made $120,000 or even more money, you know, by basically having the information that's important, that's valuable. So information is key. You know, in that example I just gave you, you know, he could have doubled the amount of money he made. You know, maybe it was made well over $120,000 with the information that he had. But that's what's lacking, what I found, you know. And the reason why I created this course is because many people hear about the fantastic amount of money you can make in insurance adjusting, and guess what? They're excited, they get their license, then they have a really difficult time finding a job. And once they finally find a job, they don't know what to do. You know, there's a huge disparity of knowledge from getting your license to actually getting deployed and then also becoming a good adjuster. So I wanted to be able to bridge that gap. I think this training will do so. I've paid over $200 when I first started out to learn some of this information. And guess what? I mean, it was a good class, good at that time, but from what I'm sharing in some of like my more extensive courses, I mean, you'll learn way more information, way more things of value to you versus just, you know, what a lot of these other what a lot of the other companies offer you, like your practical adjusting, basic adjusting, you know, all these courses. It's not as detailed as mine, and since you signed up, you're about to find out personally. So I just want to give you that information, but be encouraged. I want to make sure that you are an adjuster that once you get started, your first assignment, you get more deployments and you make as much money as possible your first deployment. Because I've managed adjusters at a lot of my deployments. I'm a manager where I'm over 20 to 25 adjusters, and I can, you know, tell quick like who's going to make it, who's not. But I always encourage everybody to try to push them and give them all the tools and resources available to them to make them successful. And also being a reviewer of files, I can see the adjusters that will probably not get called back and who will get called back, and also based upon customer service. So there's a lot of factors that go into getting called back, getting more work, and making more money. But by watching the video that you purchased, the 7 habits of successful adjusters, and how all the B's that I give you can give you an A in adjusting. So stay tuned. And thanks for joining our program. And also make sure you go to our website, because I also have an ebook, and I also have a larger training that's maybe available right now, that's really detailed, and I think it will be what you need to know to really be, to get it, like the master's course, to like really get it. So I just want to encourage you to do that. And I'll be praying for you and wishing you a lot of success in your near future. Thanks, and God bless.